This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back, Shelley Campbell. We are excited to have you here from Infinite Wisdom from Elroy, Arizona. She hails, and we're going to talk to her today about Brennan Healing Science as a Brennan Healing Science practitioner, the work that she does, and also as an integration practitioner. So first and foremost, welcome back today. How are you?
Thank you, Jill. I'm doing great. It's great to be here.
How hot is it in Arizona?
It's a little bit cooler. We had some raining the last couple of days, so it's not as hot. Usually over 100, not quite as hot.
Well, we're excited to have you back. You're such a kind soul. I learned a lot from you last time. And for those that missed it, we'll give you a little recap to start about some of the coaching, healing, teaching that she does. Well, first and foremost, explain to us exactly what it means to be a Brennan Healing Science practitioner and also an integration practitioner, if you don't mind.
Yeah, just briefly. So the Barbara Brennan School of Healing is really the most comprehensive school I've ever seen, and I've heard a lot of people say that. It's from the inside out. We're working with consciousness of the human energy field. Just a little bit of background on Barbara. She was a former NASA physicist, and she studied the human energy system, what she learned about the universe, and applied that to the human energy field for more than 35 years. So she wrote 3 books, including Hands of Light, Light Emerging, and Core Light Healing. And she just dedicated her life to exploring this. So the school is based on her work. And so it's a holistic healing modality. And it's basically the human energy consciousness as it relates to the disease process and how we heal our lives, and disease, the creative process, everything that is going on inside of us. So we have schools all over the world, and it combines hands-on healing techniques with spiritual and psychological process. So it really touches on every aspect of our life. So Brennan, a practitioner, has done the 4-year program. So it's 4 years of intensive of healing work. The first year we're focused on the self, relationship with the self. Second year we work on the relationship with others. The third year, which is also the year I teach in, we're working on the relationship with the divine, or how we express our power and our authority, and a relationship with the higher self. And then the 4th year, we do case work and work on some higher dimensions of the field, and really aligning with our purpose for incarnating on this planet. So then the integration practitioner, which is the 5th and 6th years, that's optional to go to, but that's where we learn how to be a processor, a coach, therapist, although we're not licensed therapists. We're just learning how to help the students to process what it is that they're going through. So that's another very intensive process. And then we come out being called BIPs, or Brennan Integrated Practitioners, where we can support the students, but it's not only for the students, we can also support any client through the healing process. And then the 7th year is teacher training, and then the possibility of being on the staff, but that's by invitation. But that's it in a nutshell. It's a wonderful program.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing all that. And, for those that are new to this modality, through the healing, through the coaching, let me ask specifically, where did you want to kind of dive in to for today for our listeners?
Yes, felt into that. I was like, where do I take this? I think probably I would say there's many modalities out there, so many different ways, and they're all different. And it used to drive me insane. Like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. Or, there's just so much, it can just feel overwhelming. And finally, I got to a point where I realized that there's many modalities because everybody processes different. So finding the right fit is so important. And this process is about learning how to follow our souls, follow our internal guidance, and pick whatever modality works for you, whether you work with a practitioner or you do some online courses or you just go with life experience. I mean, there's so many things out there. And, the thing I excuse me, really like about the Brennan work is we meet people where they are because everybody is on a journey.
Yeah.
Nobody's any better than anyone else. We're just in different places on that journey. So, using the experience of somebody that's been maybe on the journey longer can help you to find the insights of what is your longing, your passion. What do you want to heal? It could be, and some people go to the school and they want to be a healer. Others just want to heal themselves, and everything is appropriate. Some people start out not ever wanting to be a healer and find out they really do want to be a healer. Because being a healer is really just assisting others on their journey. And it's also healing the self. So everybody's on their own unique path, and we learn about the creative process and how we're all creators. We were born to be creators in this lifetime, but we get stuck. And so this school, this process can really help to work through where you're stuck, where you're not stepping in and being the best you that you want to be your authentic self. And, we spent a lot of time, that saying, the grass is always greener on the other side. Let's learn about what's green inside and how we can be happy right where we are, who we are, instead of looking outside of ourselves to find happiness and always reaching for something that may not be there. We're learning how to clear, step back. We came into this life, we experienced, we came in these pure little beings, and then we're born into a world that's a little bit crazy. So, we formed all of these opinions as a very young child. And a lot of times when there's trauma, we're in a survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
We survive to get to this point, and we're still using the same patterns and skills that we used back then, but we're in big bodies now, but we're still processing from those places. So it's helping us to grow our psyches into from the child consciousness that we've experienced to the adult consciousness, building resilience and tolerance and opening just what we call our edge, we're moving our edge farther out and just being more comfortable, just being in these physical bodies. Sometimes that's even difficult, just to be fully present and not want to be, I'm out of here, I want to leave. It's just being the best you that you can be.
Perfect. And that's what all we want to be, and which can make us better and lift us up. And let's do it. I mean, I told you, if you recall, maybe I didn't say, but I just feel like since the pandemic, I'm living my best life because, I'm so grateful. Got another shot, all of us. And I want to be able to do things and live my life. And you never know when it's going to be that day, and something could happen. And it's just like, it's so sad. You hear about, people passing, and even recently my aunt passed. And it's just like, you know what? Life is too short. Why didn't I make the time to see her? Why didn't I do that? So let's just live our best lives. And some people don't know how to do that, though, It's so sad.
You brought up a good point. The pandemic opened a lot of things. When I started the school back in 2013, it was all in person. And we did like 4 hours of long distance healing. Well, now everything is long distance healing. So, and I'm not here just to tout the school, because the school is a wonderful place, but not everybody can go to the school. But what it's done is open up the ability to be with a practitioner anywhere in the world. So you don't have to just be in person. Energy, the beauty of the energy consciousness is it's consciousness. It's everything. Energy and consciousness are the same things. So I work with people around the world. And it's just as effective, sometimes more effective. And especially if you're sensitive and you may, feel being in personal contact with somebody is a lot. Being able to do that over via Zoom or phone, it can be a lot maybe easier to handle and tolerate a session. So yeah, it's just really opened things up. And you're right, COVID it has changed so many things, so much pain in the world, so much, and the awakening. People are awakening to who they really are, and like realizing, like I did years and years ago, that there's more than just this meat suit or this physical body that we have. We came here to create. We came here to manifest, and then we get here, and it's like, wow, what happened? My life isn't going where I want it to go, and so the healing process, the coaching process, all of that can really open those doors for someone.
Oh, and the type of work you're doing, I know I love hearing some of the amazing stories that you've been able to help people with. And would you mind sharing anything in particular that's new and exciting that that's been happening with some of the people you're working with?
Oh, goodness. It's really hard to say because everything to me is amazing. Everything. Just, gosh. Well, I mentioned last time just helping somebody that had been, her mother had tried to kill her as a child, and the sexual trauma that people go through, and just really the joy that I have is watching them blossom into whatever that is for them, whether it's clearing the trauma that maybe keeps them from having a healthy relationship, to someone that's trying to manifest a new job or a partnership or, a close personal relationship. So I guess I can't really think of anything specific because there's so many of them. But yeah, just in general, just watching people go from, and even within myself, I can talk a little bit about that, going from just terrified of contact, but longing to be in contact. And that's a very common one, I think, and not even knowing myself, who I was, because to be in deep contact, you got to be able to be in contact with yourself. Finding that love within is really what we're doing in this work. That's probably one of the biggest things that's causing those distortions in our society is self-love. How many people deeply love themselves, not outside of themselves? So just finding that I can stay in contact with somebody and not be afraid of that contact has been the biggest blessing for me, to be able to speak my truth in an authentic way, and finding my own internal personal authority. My parents divorced when I was very young, and we all have, different stories, but it's learning how to live beyond those stories. And when they divorced, it was very, very painful, and it followed me into relationships with the opposite sex, with everything that I wanted to create in my life, and coming to the place where I am now of peace, of being okay with me, and not having to have somebody, not needing somebody, but wanting to be in a relationship, a healthy relationship, and being able to cultivate that. So I know I kind of skipped around there, but yeah, it's just coming back to myself. And again, it's just finding whatever it is within you that you want to want to be.
And it's never too late to want to improve, to, try things that are different. So many people, different career changes, things are just, later in life, it's like, oh my gosh, I want to do something else. And it's possible, right? It is possible to change. And time again, with the work you're doing, that, and some people just feel maybe lost, maybe out there just saying, hey, I can't get it together. I need some guidance. I need some help. And you also work with them, as a coach, like you're stepping through the process with them, right?
Yeah, and it actually is helpful. A lot of the people we work with, probably the average age is 50, 60. The younger generation that has done the work, they're brilliant. They're just, this younger generation is amazing. What they've come into this lifetime with. But those of us that have had life experiences are so important. And yeah, we don't have to just give up on life. We've had 80-year-olds go through the program because they wanted to just be better themselves. They wanted to heal past relationships. And this is an amazing school, an amazing process to go through those holistic life changes. So yeah, never too late. Never too late.
It isn't. And what happens, here we are, here's the summer. And do you find a lot of people, I don't know where you are in the world, but like, I feel like summer is just an different energy tone and feeling to, people moving, shaking, trying to do things. I feel the winter, we always try to hibernate a little more. But like, what is like, would you say most people are ready to make change? Is there something like with the earth, with the signs, with the seasons that people start coming around more?
I think certainly that has a lot to do with it. There's a lot of energy coming into our world right now, as we can see with all the things going on. Some, feels a little chaotic, a little crazy at times. But yeah, I think one of the things that I think keeps people away from this work is it can be scary. It takes a lot of courage. And the brilliance of what Barbara has put together is that we're afraid of the pain, that soft pain. We call it soft pain because it's like it's a wound. We all have wounds, like, and they be like, I'm not good enough. That's a big one. I'm not lovable. I'm going to be rejected. I'm not safe. All of these things that keep us from really connecting with others. So if somebody gets close to that wound, then we create defenses to keep people out, right? And it's really scary. It can be scary. Touch into those deep, tender feelings of maybe the feelings of having been abandoned or traumatized in some way. And so a lot of people just won't do it, or their ego is so big that nothing's wrong with them. It's just the rest of the world, right? So really finding that we can just do this work and be, going through this soft pain teaches us that's what's keeping us from our gifts, because our gifts are locked inside, locked underneath that. And we can, as we heal those places within us that are vulnerable, it could be a lot of grief, a lot of shame, a lot of guilt. All of those things keep us trapped. So as we can work through those and deal with those and clear those and realize that none of that's really happening in the moment.
Yeah.
Projecting from those childhood woundings, again, that survival mode of, I have to just get through this, whatever it is, to, why am I getting upset because somebody just cut me off in a car, or because I'm having to wait at this stoplight or this grocery line or whatever? It's not about what's happening now. So it's digging deeper into those painful places. So yeah, it's a lot of people won't do this work. I think I have often thought that, gosh, if we would just teach this in school, this could be our first years of high school. This learning how to just be your authentic self. We don't teach this stuff to people so that they can, just be who they really want to be. Our life, or the chaos in the world would be no longer existent. There would be no conflicts. The conflicts are created because we all come at each other from our own little places of woundedness. So yeah, healing ourselves is also a process of healing the world.
Isn't that amazing, right? We could do it. We can get by. It is possible. And, as far as it's just like inner wisdom, right? And some people may out there be listening, but still scared to make that move. And they feel like compelled to like make a move, but they are scared. What do you say to those out there that are so fearful of making a switch, making the call for the consultation?
Well, one of my favorite sayings is the acronym FEAR, false emotions appearing real. Again, it's it goes back to what I just said about that childhood wounding. The fear comes from not being comfortable being in contact, or not being, maybe they were told as a child, you're never going to get that. You're never going to be good enough. You're never going to succeed. You're never going to, these images stick with us. These words stick in our heads, but they're not real.
Yeah.
They're not happy. They're real in the fact that you're going through them, but if you can work your way through them and see that life is not as scary as we've made it out in our heads to be, then you can start the process of healing. Again, goes back to the creative process. Where do we get stuck? Why are we not? Because everything is the creative process. Everything is related to that. We're creating, even the things that are happening to us that we don't necessarily like. We've created them. We are the masters. We are the creator. But that's hard for some people to see because they want to believe that it's somebody outside of us is responsible for our happiness instead of taking responsibility for our own happiness. And that's hard. Everybody is ready to go to that point, and that's okay. There's nobody's broken. Everybody is just where they are on their.
And hopefully where they should be, right? So, what do you have for the rest of the summer planned?
Oh goodness, just a few trips here and there. Just working on myself, I guess. Yeah, I like doing some summer activities, swimming. Getting out and getting in the sunshine in Arizona.
And well, I want to thank you for listening. If someone does want to reach out to you, how does that work?
Yeah, just the easiest way. If you go to the Barbara Brennan BBSH, or Barbara Brennan School of Healing website, you can just Google up Barbara Brennan. It's out there. You can find a practitioner. I'm listed on there. But really the easiest way is just to send me an email. And my email address is src524@outlook.com. Whether it's for a healing or just more information about the school, I'm open for anything.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you here. Thank you for all your insight and input, and wishing you a happy and healthy summer. And thank you for, joining us here again, and for enlightening us and really trying to help those better themselves. And really, just curious, is there anything we could do starting tomorrow morning, wake up routine? Is there anything that you do that can maybe just be beneficial to our listeners?
Breathe. Just breathe. I love gratitude. To me, gratitude is everything. Just be grateful. Find 5 things that you're grateful for. I created this thing for myself when I get in the shower. I'm just like, life is wonderful. Life is awesome. Life is great. And then finding whatever that is, and gratefulness can bring more. So just bring in that positive things about what's happening in your life and all the good things, and breathe.
Breathe, just breathe. Thank you so much again. Pleasure having you here. And we will reconnect again. Until next time, I'll say, right? Never goodbye. Thank you so much. Been a pleasure getting to know you and have a great summer. Bye, darling.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.